I sat outside the rundown hospital that looked more like a condemned warehouse than a place meant to heal. Just a few days ago, I had pitied a man named Victor as he suffered on one of those rusted iron beds inside. Who would have thought that I'd end up lying in the same general ward, counting what felt like the final minutes of my own life? This wasn't a city hospital. It was tucked deep in a forgotten county in rural Mississippi, where complaining about facilities was like yelling at the wind. In one room, dozens of patients with critical conditions lay side by side, gazing blankly at a single ceiling fan that creaked with every slow, torturous rotation, marking time like a grim metronome. Rainwater tried to seep through cracked concrete walls, bringing with it a suffocating stench of mold. The air was thick. I could barely breathe. Ants marched in long lines from a crevice in the wall, climbing up to my bed, nibbling at the raw wounds on my face. My body had become their banquet. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I could only feel each bite, each tear, each moment of pain. When the agony became unbearable, I tried to whisper for help, but my lips were parched. My voice failed me. My tears, however, did not. A man attending to another patient in the ward noticed. "Nurse, please, check this man. Something's wrong." The nurse ambled over, irritated and muttering. "What now? Just another corpse pretending to be alive?" she scoffed. "You better hope he dies soon. We need that bed." "But ma'am," the man protested, "he's alive. He's suffering. At least check his pulse." Reluctantly, she touched my hand and froze. The ants crawling all over my wounds startled her. "Oh, Jesus," she gasped. "He's being eaten alive by ants." She brushed them off, then reached for my file, looking for a family contact. Just then, my younger brother Derek walked in. "Thank God," she said. "This one won't last long. You better stay here. We can't keep an eye on everyone." 36 patients, 1 nurse. "What happened?" Derek asked, panicked. She replied casually, "He's barely hanging on. You might want to transfer him, but don't get your hopes up." I heard every word. I may have been silent, but I was still aware. Her cold tone stabbed deeper than the ants. But Derek refused to give up. "Don't worry, bro. I know what this is. It's happening again. Just like what happened with Victor. The curse is back. You remember the ritual we did by the well? I think its effect wore off, but I'll fix it. I promise." Derek was all I had since our father passed. We grew up in a tight-knit town where everyone knew everyone. When the curse first appeared, an ancient Blood-Wraith attached to a forgotten well, it nearly took me the first time. The townsfolk helped with the ritual back then. But after Victor died, and my condition returned, fear spread. No one dared visit. They believed even looking into my eyes would draw the spirit's attention. So I lay there still, broken, ignored, waiting for someone familiar to walk through the door, waiting for hope. That night was a new moon. Derek entered the room with a strange gleam in his eyes. He touched my forehead gently. "Tonight," he said, "the ritual ends this." I tried to lift my hand. "Take care of yourself," I rasped. He nodded and left, determined. Midnight. Derek stood by the old well at Hollow Creek. No one joined him this time. Victor's death had frightened everyone. But Derek didn't need help. This was personal now. He stacked firewood, lit it, and began preparing the offering. The ritual required rice, meat, and blood. Derek sacrificed a rooster, its blood spilling onto the stones. The flames hissed in response. Then, silence. From the other side of the well, a pale white figure emerged. Human-like, but not quite. Derek's pulse quickened. He called out, "Who's there?" The figure vanished, then reappeared closer. He wanted to run, but he couldn't. Not without finishing the ritual. As the meat cooked, the smell spread. The entity returned closer now. Derek could hear its breath. He looked up and the figure was inches from his face. A whisper, "Your time has come," and it vanished again. Shaking, Derek plated the meat on palm leaves and placed them near the well. Before he could finish, he saw the meat infested with wriggling worms. Disgusted, he gagged. "I'll offer it first," he muttered. "Maybe it'll calm down." The figure stood now on the well's edge, arms wide, waiting. Derek stepped forward, hands trembling. Just as he placed the food down, something clamped onto his ankle. He looked down an arm. Decayed, sharp, jagged nails. The Blood-Wraith. It stared into Derek's eyes and repeated, "Your time has come." The dish flew across the ground. Derek screamed. He tugged, wrestled, finally tearing himself free, and ran, barefoot, bleeding all the way home. That night, sleep never came. Every time he closed his eyes, the Blood-Wraith's whisper echoed. At sunrise, Derek rushed to the hospital. "Brother!" I opened my eyes. Tears spilled from his face. "I saw it. The Blood-Wraith. It's real. It tried to take me like it took you. I tried everything. I gave the offering. I did the ritual. But maybe it doesn't want food anymore. Maybe it wants you." For the first time in days, I spoke clearly. "Let me go, Derek. You can't save me. It's drained everything from me. Every night, it whispers in my ear, 'Your time has come.' And now, I want it to be over." "No!" Derek cried. "There's one more way. One last way to stop it." He raced to our town elder, old Hank, nearly 100 years old. "Tell me the truth. What is that well?" And Hank told him. Years ago, a man named Damon Rowe, an outcast, had used forbidden rituals to trap a Blood-Wraith in that well, binding it with a promise. In exchange for peace, he'd feed it every new moon. For a while, the beast accepted chickens, but bloodthirst only grows. One night, Damon didn't return. The spirit broke its bonds, and ever since, it has craved human blood. "It'll only stop," Hank said, "if someone willingly sacrifices themselves and binds it again." Derek didn't hesitate. He found a hermit priest, one who still remembered the ancient rites. They prepared the ritual, but this time, the bait wasn't a rooster. It was Derek. As the final chant echoed through the woods, Derek sliced his own palm. The blood dripped into the well. The creature rose, snarling, twisted, hungry, and Derek jumped in, dragging the spirit down with him. The priest finished the chant. Silence returned. That was the last night anyone ever saw the Blood-Wraith. I recovered, but I lost my brother. Even now, when I pass Hollow Creek, I can almost hear his voice whisper, "You're safe now, brother. Your time will never come." But if, on a dark new moon, you ever walk alone and hear a voice whisper, "Your time has come," run, because the hunger never ends.